Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing amazing. Today I wanted to do an updated no foundation tutorial. I did one of these pretty much exactly a year ago, and I have switched up some things. I feel like I've got some new tips and tricks for you guys. I think this is a great way to simplify your everyday makeup routine, just make it look a little bit more effortless. So let's get into it. I started off by prepping my skin. So I always, the biggest thing with my skin is I am very dry and I have a really dull skin type. So that's why I like wearing foundation, because I feel like it makes my skin look a little bit more luminous and just less dull. So when I'm not wearing foundation, the biggest thing for me is to combat the dullness, because it just doesn't look quite as healthy as I think it could. So I like to start off with moisturizer. Today I use the one from Bobbi Brown. This is the Vitamin Enriched Skin Base. This is a great moisturizing primer, or you can just use it as a facial moisturizer as well. Now it's quite thick, quite heavy, so I would definitely recommend this for drier skin types. If you are not quite as dry, a great moisturizing product that really plays well with makeup, doesn't pill up or crumble, is the e.l.f. Hello Hydration. I still really like this even though I have dry skin, but it is significantly lighter and much more quickly absorbed into the skin than the Bobbi Brown one. This product has been a huge constant in my routine ever since I started using it. It's the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This I like to use on the areas of my face where I have more noticeable dryness, because it's quite jelly and thick, and so it clings to those dry patches and almost plumps them up in a weird way. It just hides the dryness so that when I put makeup on top of it, I don't get that crackly, crumbly look that I get a lot of the time. So I really like to concentrate this all around the corners of my nose, because that tends to be where my makeup gets that crispy look. And then just anywhere else where I feel like my makeup needs a little bit more stay power. This is such a great primer for those of you who feel like you have a skin type where your makeup slides around throughout the day, or you feel like your makeup just kind of disappears. It really keeps your makeup locked and loaded and gives your makeup that really great sticky tacky base that will just cling to the product and help it stay put a lot longer. And then I'm gonna be taking the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Primer. This is a soft focus illuminating primer. And like I said, my biggest thing that I want to combat with my skin is the dullness and the dryness. I just don't want it to look dull and dry. And you guys will see when I blend this out, it's a very soft focus, brightening, illuminating primer. Now, when you're not wearing foundation, if you wear an illuminator that's a little bit too strobing and too illuminating, it can look really artificial and fake. Whereas this one, the illuminating is very soft and it doesn't look too apparent on your skin. So it just gives you that nice little bit of glow, little bit of brightness without looking distracting or artificial. I'm gonna do one more pump, just build it up so you guys can really see this. So you can build it up and it won't ever look like too much or like you just put a shit ton of illuminator on your face, for lack of a better term. Okay, I mean, look, it just instantly revives my skin. I feel like it looks a lot more healthy and luminous, but it's nothing that's too apparent, and it's gonna play really nice with other products, and it's not gonna make it look like I just slapped a crap ton of illuminator all over my skin. So the next thing I wanna do, because we're not gonna be wearing foundation and I wanna make sure that these products actually have some more staying power and a good foundation to stick onto, I'm gonna use a little bit of setting spray. This is the Tarte Stay Spray setting spray. It is one of the most industrial strength setting sprays I've ever used. I think it's incredible, and it really will make your makeup last so much longer. So I just do a light mist all over my face. And the whole goal with that setting spray as your base layer is so that we can sandwich the makeup in between 2 layers of setting spray. And then this way, you know, otherwise you would be wearing a foundation, but with this, your makeup that you put on top still has a nice layer to really grip to, and it's gonna increase the longevity of the makeup. Whereas if I just put makeup on bare skin, it's gonna last, but it's not gonna be an all-day ordeal. And we wanna make this long-lasting, but also, you know, skip the foundation. My favorite concealer right now for concealing blemishes is from Rimmel. It's the Lasting Finish Concealer it is so long wearing, it does not budge. So if you have any active or red pimples on your skin that you really want to camouflage and you want to make sure that you can decrease the amount of touch-ups that you're gonna have to do throughout the day on those blemishes, I would highly recommend this one. And then if you just want barely there coverage, you just want a light milky veil of coverage under the eyes and maybe to disguise some discoloration as well as redness, a great lightweight milky veil option is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. It's also quite brightening, but the unique thing about both of these concealers is that they are very fluid and lightweight. They do not cake up and they do not look very, sludgy or thick on the skin. My personal favorite under eye concealer for great coverage and just the radiance and the creaminess of it is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I wear the shade Ginger. So my first plan of attack in concealing and just overall evening out my skin tone is applying it right under my eyes. A good amount right under my eyes. I'll also apply just a touch on the top of my eyelids as well, just to even out any discoloration that I have on my eyelids right now. I'm gonna also tap this concealer right under my eye area. And it really just instantly brightens and evens out my skin tone by a lot. This is a little ColourPop sponge that I'm just using to further blend. Now the thing with when you're wearing just concealer is you don't want to just have all of a sudden amazing coverage only in one spot. So take the time to really blend out the edges of the concealer so that you can't so much tell where the concealer starts and where your skin ends, or where the skin starts and the concealer ends. So you're just lightly blending out that line and making sure there's no noticeable lines of the concealer. So another skin issue for me is I do always have a ton of hyperpigmentation around my mouth. It's just where I tend to break out the most, and I do have, remaining just like darkness and acne spots around there. And then I always have redness around my nose right here. And this is also, unfortunately, where I tend to get the most dry patches. Now, it's not looking super horrible, but I can still see the dry patches. So I wanna use a lightweight veil coverage concealer. So I'm gonna use the YSL Touche Cloth, because if I use anything that's too thick in this crevice of my nose, it's just gonna cling and it's gonna look really cakey and not so good. And I really wanna take the time to push this concealer in versus swipe it around because I want the coverage to stay put. This concealer doesn't have to totally cover everything. It's just giving you a good amount of light coverage to disguise the darkness. And I always have darkness around my mouth, so I like to just do a little bit of coverage there as well, because I think it does help with evening out my skin tone. So I'll always take it like a little bit around the corner. And already I noticed a huge difference with the darkness around my mouth. It just looks so much lighter. And again, overall just helps with the evening out of my overall skin tone. Do a little bit more. I think this is a good stopping point in terms of coverage because the overall goal is not to make your skin look perfect, but just better and to disguise and kind of camouflage a few of the things that you want to, just put a little bit of coverage over. So I'm gonna start re-blending. I'm just gonna use my little sponge and just do a final blend to make sure that everything is nice and in place. The next thing we wanna do is set this concealer in place, make sure it lasts all day. So I'm gonna take a setting powder. This one's from Laura Mercier. It is the Candle Glow Powder, and this is a Spicy Choco 8 brush. This is one of my absolute favorite setting powders because it does not take away from the radiance of your skin. It gives you a budge-proof powder set, but it does not make your skin look chalky or flat. And I mean, if you look at the powder in the pan, you can tell this is not gonna make your skin look flat at all. I'm gonna use a little bit of cream bronzer. This is the Tom Ford Intensity 1 cream bronzer, picking it up on an e.l.f. Flawless face brush. And I'm just gonna start applying this where I wanna add a little bit of warmth onto my skin. So take it around the hairline. Just lightly, kind of all over. I just want a little bit more warmth And I like how this is nice and creamy, so it looks like skin. Just in these little dabbing motions. That happened. Yeah, just in these little dabbing motions. I'm also gonna be using a cream blush just so that it has that nice skin-like finish to it. I'm gonna use the Stila Camellia all-in-one cheek color, or sorry, convertible color. And I'm gonna use the same brush, just gonna pick it up. This is such a beautiful, universally flattering, fleshy tone. You will all look amazing in this. It's a great, universally flattering color. So I'm just going to lightly stipple this onto the apples of the cheeks, kind of blend it back. And whatever's left over on the brush, I'll just hit in that eye area too. Just helps the look a little bit more consistent. I also want my skin to have a really nice natural glow. So I'm gonna use a powder highlight that actually gives the glow and kind of dew of a cream or liquid highlight. I'm gonna use the Pixi Glowy Gossamer, this glowy one, gold I mean, sorry. And this is a Marc Jacobs bronzing brush, but I really like how this is nice and big and diffuses the highlight everywhere in a more natural, kind of undetectable way. And then that way you don't get a stripy looking highlight. It just looks really effortless and it just glides over the skin so much easier. I'm gonna set my brows. I'm using the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. Moving on to lips, I'm gonna line my lips with Naughty from Air Perez. I'm gonna take a little bit of lash primer, so I'm gonna use the Sills Booster XL from Lancome. I'm just going to lightly dust this on the very tips of my eyelashes to give them some added length. And then for mascara, today I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Define-A-Lash. This is in the waterproof version. I love this stuff. And we will also hit those bottom lashes. I'm gonna finish off with some lip balm. This is Nug from Milk. All right, my friends, this is the finished no foundation tutorial. I really wanted to make sure that I include swaps for, you know, like if the Bobbi Brown one is a little bit too rich, the e.l.f. one is just right and a lot more lightweight. I wanted to show you a couple different concealers that I think are great for concealing acne or just super lightweight concealers as well. As with every tutorial, this is fully customizable, so of course, make the products and techniques meet your specific needs. But if you have any questions regarding this, please feel free to hit me up in the comments down below. I really do always truly do my best to get back to every single one of you guys. I'm gonna list and link all of these products in the description box as well in case you are curious about any of them. If you have any other skin-based tutorials that you want to see in the near future, please leave them in the comments down below. These are my favorite types of tutorials to film. I really have a lot of fun getting technical and technique-based with you guys. So any future like winter skin type of tutorials you want to see, leave them in the comments down below. Please be sure to subscribe and come follow me on Instagram if you didn't either. Let me know if you try this out or if you have a routine that's slightly different from mine. I would love to know your tips and tricks because I'm always trying new, no foundation experimental routines. I think it's really fun to see the way that certain products perform when they don't have a base of foundation used with them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys all have a super amazing day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you're all doing well and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.